Welcome into my channel, Crystal Clear Oracles. Thank you for liking, subscribing, sharing, and donating to my channel. For more educational videos, it's greatly appreciated. So, I want to get into some of the cards that I pulled for today, and it's really based around community. And really it's talking about what communities are you involved in right now, and maybe some of them don't feel in alignment with yourself, and it might be even family communities, relationship community, work environments. I mean, take your pick. It could be any of these spaces and places. So go ahead and sort of intuit where that might be for yourself, and it might be several areas of your life. So the first card I pulled is community in reverse, and it's really just talking about how maybe you're feeling like it's not the right space for you. Maybe you're feeling not in alignment with your highest good. The next card I pulled was conflict and chaos. So a lot of times we can be in environments, and it's hard to see sometimes, but it could be toxic and unkind, manipulative, cruel, abusive. You know, these circumstances, you know, we have such this world is very much infested with a lot of bullying energies. You may be dealing with somebody who's narcissistic in your life. You know, it can be a relative or a coworker, your partner, any place where people are putting you down to try and manipulate your energy to make you feel less than. Those are people you do not want to be around. Absolutely do not want to be around. And especially when you're younger, it's kind of hard to see that because you're always trying to, you know, especially if you're empathically tuned, often trying to correct or shift or change, heal a situation, because as empathic beings, highly sensitive people, we feel people's energy and often take it in and try and heal it, which is really not what we should be doing right now. Extreme self-care is very much necessary. So I highly recommend that if you're in, you know, bullying situations, you know, and I've been in them several times in my life, where you become like a target to groups of people who really don't know the truth about anything. But I find that people who typically are in this kind of energy field, they are people who are afraid of being targets themselves, so they feel the need to target others. People who gossip and do smear campaigns on other people are often people who are incredibly insecure. That's why forming groups of people to, you know, bully somebody, it's a very insecure place to come from. It's called false sense of power. So a lot of times bullies, narcissists have this false sense of power that they try and draw energy from, and that's why a lot of times people like this have groups of people, because it generates an energy that is dark. These are dark energies that, you know, at some point we're going to have to say no to on this planet. And I hope that if you're around people like this, or people who are doing these things to other people, that you stand up and say, no. You know, it's okay to, sometimes can be scary, I know, but to say, you know what, no, I'm not standing for this. It's not okay to do this to somebody else. This is not the kind of planet or world that we want. I want a planet based in kindness and compassion, and not a space or place where people feel the need to harm others emotionally, physically, in many different aspects. I've become a target before myself. And the interesting thing about a bully is that they will often turn community against you. And I had this in my own family dynamic, where there were people in my own family who were smearing my name in the community, and falsely so. And the funny thing about, bullies, narcissistic people, is that they convince people that you're doing it to them, but in truth, they're doing it to you. And it's hard for other people to fathom that people actually act in these ways, these very unkind, lower energetic, inhumane ways. But it's true. There are many people who do this. A lot of times it's because bullies and people who get into these toxic groups, they actually don't want to step into their healing journey. They don't want to face their own pain. So it's just so much easier to point the finger somewhere else, especially people who have no idea who you are and who just hear gossip, who have no understanding of the actual truth of the matter. They may get like tidbits, fractures of information that might have some merit of truth, but it's not at all the story or the scope of the truth. And that can be very frustrating. So what do we do in these kinds of situations? First off, self-care. So I recommend you immediately remove yourself from these kinds of places. And it can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Maybe you're in a relationship like this and you're living with somebody who's doing these very cruel acts to you, harming you in manipulative, emotional ways. This is never acceptable. I mean, these are ways, this is not the new earth. This is not the way the new earth is coming in. These old energies are leaving. This is not the new kind of relationships that we're forming. We're forming a new earth that's based in honesty, in truth, in kindness and compassion. Nobody's perfect, but you'll never see me smearing anybody's name, and no one will ever say that I ever did. You'll never see me bullying somebody. I know that, people can tend to see what they want to see, but the truth shall be revealed. The light will shine, the truth. And sometimes that's later on down the road, and the universe does see the bigger picture. The next card I chose was Fork in the Road. Fork in the Road. So fork in the road is a choice. It's really a choice. Am I going to put myself in these situations around people who really are not taking responsibility for their own lives? Bullies often may not be happy in their lives. They may not have a creative outlet, or so they use these other ways to form these toxic relationships. And this is not something that is healthy in any way. And really, it's a choice to step out. And sometimes that can leave you feeling lonely or confused, but really, you gotta go through this. You gotta go through the tunnel to get to the light sometimes, and that's sometimes, being with yourself even. And that cannot always be easy, but in your heart that it's the truth, that it's the right way, that it's for the highest good of all. And I don't really think we can choose another way anymore. So I hope that if you're around people who are doing this to other people, but you have the courage. You have the courage and conviction of what kind of planet do we want? You know, the Earth is so amazing. This is such a beautiful place. We are so blessed. Waking up to the sun, the sunrise. How lucky and blessed are we? And yet, to focus your intention and your contribution in those ways, it's sad. It's really sad. It saddens me. You know, it's really just people who don't want to take responsibility for their own pain. So I really encourage you to go ahead and break away from those relationships. I actually personally had to do that fairly recently. And that's not an easy thing. And it was someone I've known for a very long time. And it hurts. But I'm willing to do the hard things. I'm willing to do the hard stuff. And I've done it before in my life many different times. It's not easy, always. You know, it is a journey to self-care, to true love. You know, loving yourself. And you know what that is. You know what that looks like. So the next card I got was Change in the Wind. So yeah, it's really like unseen energy that's set in motion, that's already in the air. The change is coming, it's already shifting. So we're here, and it's kind of like, okay, what can I do to have more self-love, more self-care for myself, and others as well, because, you know, witnessing what's happening in the world is also very important, and doing the right thing by others. So I pulled two other cards that is kind of about when we take these steps, when we make these decisions that are of right choice, right direction for us. What does this look like? Like, what's the outcome of making these hard choices and decisions? So I got, this is Knight of Pentacles, and it's the entrepreneurial card. So it's kind of like stepping into something new. Something new is forming. Maybe you have a passion, you know, in a particular direction. Maybe it's writing or doing YouTube videos, or, you know, working with kids who could be shown a better way. So it's really about, like, what are you passionate about? Maybe it's dance or knitting, whatever it is that really is going to draw you in the direction of your highest good and the highest good for all. And this last card that I pulled, we have another page. So this is a page of Wands, which I love this card. It's kind of just about new beginnings, you know, this new passionate energy that you might have for something. And if you don't, maybe it's journaling about that. You know, what could that look like? What brings me joy? What do I wake up in the morning and want to do? What feeds my soul? Is a really great direction to go. And maybe it's in small ways, you know, maybe you're working, but you have something else that you're forming. So it's new. It's a new direction. And lastly, I have, I picked an animal card, and it's the dragonfly. So the dragonfly is really, it's like stepping out of illusion, stepping into new. So it's really stepping out of this illusion that, you know, you may be stuck in certain ways or with certain people, and really like opening yourself up to a new direction. And that can also help with prayer. You know, prayer is a very powerful way to continue to step into that divine source energy. You know, there may be burdens that are not yours at all, that you just need to give over just give them over. And when we're around people who are very toxic in nature, it's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. Even if they think it's about you, it's not. They're showing you where they're at, who they are. So how they're treating you is who they are. It doesn't have anything to do with you. And, you say a prayer for those people. You send them blessings of joy so they can find their joy and bliss and passion in their lives. And maybe it's, diving deeper into their own emotional state, and I pray that the world shifts in this way so that we can continue to evolve and expand on this planet, which we will anyways. So you can come kicking or fighting whatever way you want, but it's just much easier if we do it with a loving heart, kind compassion for yourself, kind compassion for others. And it's just a simpler way to be. And I just hope that we can continue to grow here as a planet, and we will. So, crystals I love, and I'm always going to talk about different crystals that I have. I'm wearing labradorite earrings, I don't know if you can see them, and a labradorite necklace, a pendant that I absolutely love. This pendant actually has the etchings of an angel in it. A lot of my pendants have animals or angel spirits in them, which you can investigate in your own crystals, or one that you might be attracted to buying. So labradorite is a really great protective crystal. It does give that sort of energy of greater safety and calm, but I would say, all these crystals are great. They give me comfort and soothing, and I'll always have them. However, in saying that, it's not ever going to, shift a situation that is abusive or unkind. Crystals are amazing. However, it's not going to, we actually have to take steps ourselves. It's an addition to like healing energy and shifting that, but honestly, it's more about just, our interest and comfort in them, and, how to work with them and manifest with them, but it's not the cure for toxic places or relationships. So I hope this message was helpful for you, and thank you for liking, subscribing to my channel, and donating as well, if you so wish. And I will bless you with joy, and bless you with love and greater abundance on this planet. And I'll let you sit with the ocean for a while. Much love to you.